from the Vrije Universiteit Brussels. Then Marcel Huschebeck from PTV will introduce the use cases, followed by Johanna Axelsson from Volvo, followed by Thorén from Scania, Laurent Gonnet from Renault Trucks, then followed by Fernando Lopez from Hitachi, presenting the status of the megawatt chargers, followed by myself for the Ford use cases and the charging on rail. And then at the end of the meeting, Anje and I will talk about the stakeholder symposium, the Q&A, and the closure. Not to lose time, I really would like to ask Omar to give us a short project overview. Please tell me when I have to switch to the next slide, then I can guide you through the slides. Okay, Omar, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben. I would like to thank all the partners, all the attendees today to see what we did, what has been done already in ZEFES projects, to give a very nice update. So here you can see that we last almost 2 years, we succeed to launch a V2 cluster, and a V2 cluster is really getting the effort of other projects in heavy duty like Escalate, Empower, More Life, and other projects, Flex MCS also, MatBit also. The idea there to have common vision and share knowledge, share information about infrastructure, energy infrastructure, life cycle and TCO, and also digital twin, and also we enhance the collaboration and synergies with other initiatives in Europe, especially in Germany and also Netherlands, HOLA project in Germany, and also Energy Hub project in Netherlands. Of course, that will also connecting Euro facility, that is really a working group there in the commission. So we are sharing a lot of information later on. So we succeeded also to launch 4 working group. Maybe go to the second slide, please, Ben. So as you can see here that we launched already 4 working groups to tackle key items that we are really facing today. We are looking forward to have a very nice outcome from the working group 1 on life cycle and TCO that has been also led by Escalate Projects. And we have working group 2, digital tools, led by ZEFES also, to also share a lot of information about the tools that has been already developed, or tools have been developed already there in several projects, to share the common definition and so on. Energy infrastructure, as you know, that is a really crucial one, that also led by another project called Flex MCS, where also VB the coordinator. Artificial intelligence, that also the last working group that led by Escalate project, to get also inside how we are going to use AI in our heavy duty electrification. If you go further, please wait for this outcome of this working groups. By the end of the year, we'll launch a very nice white paper or position paper to share our knowledge. As you know that ZEFES is a really large project, is a flagship project. We call it in project in facts and figure. We are 40 partners, 6 OEM, 14 suppliers, 11 shippers, and also retail, and also 9 research institute and also RTOs. We had already funded from the commission by 23 millions. We asked for 39 millions. The project already has been started in January last year, no, year before. So now it's almost 2 years and a half. And the project has been also targeted to be extended to be 4 years, so will be ended end of 26. If you go ahead, please. Yes. So of course, each project what we have already their ambition, and also we have a very nice goal. As you can see later, we'll have very interesting use cases that will be demonstrated. We are going to demonstrate in real world life, I think 15 to 18 use cases. Ben will correct me later, Marcel, where we are going to integrate battery electric vehicles, fuel cell, and also we showed the feasibility of using mega charger, also rechargeable hydrogen station, and that is the one that we are targeting the project to see the feasibility of using the electrified trucks in road. Of course, the idea is to create a more affordable and also more energy efficiency for long-haul mission and logistic management system. We go further, we need to also have a very nice outcome from the modularity. So we are going to introduce the modularity from the vehicle platform itself to show a battery or fuel cell based system. There we can see also the complexity of each system and see how our project will guide also for future generation. Beside that, we are going to do a very nice mapping of the flexibility and also the of existing charge infrastructure and also adding our charging system that will come later as also an outcome of the projects where we can locate them to enhance the operation of logistic companies. Of course, the idea is there also to see the analysis or to provide analysis to investigate the impact of the whole ecosystem, especially for energy efficiency. What will be also the business model and our society activities. At the end, that we also show a very nice, powerful tools to help to enhance the operational. Operation condition of the system in logistic means that that the use case could be really optimally managed in a way to help also to have a really nice outcome and also cost-effective solution, because that we need to provide the same services that we could see by engine base. If you go further, Ben, if you go there, where we are, I think I also forgot to highlight that we have frequently a meeting with EU car, as we already have several members from the project there. Last year we had also a feedback on the project and also present update on the project in 2024. We had also last month also another update from to EU car and also the commission. As you can see in the figure, we have already a stakeholder group there. We are really successfully done that in the first year of the project. In the development of the project for the platform, the vehicle itself, digital tools and charging infrastructure and so on. That will be moved to Q3 this year due to the fact that we face some challenges in the regulation in some countries and so on, and maybe that will be highlighted later. So that has been moved from Q1 25 to Q3 25. If you go further, for the key item of the project is itself is the demonstration, as I highlighted already, that we have 12 demonstration, but will be demonstrated in 8 use cases, and maybe later we'll see more in that. That has been also shifted or delayed to be in Q4 26, so the end of the projects. But we'll still have margin to get also the analysis and the evaluation of what the outcomes of the demonstrations. As outcome, you see also in each project that we receive a requirement specification. We successfully done that with a really nice stakeholder group, as you already today you are attending. We collect all the information about the logistic mission, also the needs and also requirements for each use cases. What are the challenges there? And also we see our mitigation, and then we translate this one to be also KPIs also, and also design requirements and so on. After that, we in Working Batch 2, we successfully done also the design optimization for the modular powertrain is to show also the flexibility of our solution from fuel cell to battery, linked to the mission itself, where we also tackle the TCO reduction based on the on charging location, also rechargeable hydrogen stations. Also within the project, we also now, I think we are in the commissioning phase of the mega charger, where we have 2 mega charger system that will be provided by Hitachi Group and also ABB Group. There will also later will be highlighted where will be located accordingly to the use case deployment. We have also HRS in Vienna, Austria, Spain, that will be rented that as a mobile unit, where we can provide the 700 bar that would provide really a refueling station by 60 grams per second. And I think that would be a very nice one to shorten the time for refueling the fuel cell. Again, we had also successfully done the development of the tools, the digital tool that will be helpful to analyze all the scenarios, all the use cases, reflecting back again the validation of our solution. So you see here a list of the tools. We have first tool is the buying decision, where we can select the best vehicle for a certain fleet operation or certain logistic mission. Second one is mission planning. So we can, by this tool, you can able to plan your mission itself. And this is really to track also TCO reduction and so on, and availability of the charger and so on. Third tool that we have the right vehicle for right duty, where we have also the flexibility to investigate also the payload is 90 or flexibility to have 100, and there you can also see the different weight and so on from the vehicle itself. Dynamic correlation, that really nice to see the accurate estimation for the energy consumption, also tracking also the charging position and refuel station. Predictive maintenance, where we have a very nice connectivity, where cloud base that hosted by TNO that will allow us to have holistic data that enable us to plan maintenance for the vehicle itself and charging. I think this is the last slide, if I'm not mistaken. Please, if you would like to follow the project, look at the website. You have also a bit of a lot of videos and also documents for the tools itself and other information about the demonstration. Marcel, floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Omar. Anje, are there questions we need to answer now, or is everything so far answered?
Yes, everything is answered. We can continue.
Okay, then Marcel, I would like to introduce you, that you give us a short introduction of the demonstrations.
Thank you. What we see later on is, let's say, a more comprehensive overview about the 12 pilot sites that we have implemented in the ZEFES project. The core of the pilots and of the demonstrations are for sure the vehicles. So we have 9 battery electric heavy-duty trucks and 3 fuel cell heavy-duty trucks that are deployed within the demonstrations of the project. We have also included here e-trailer concepts and also modular vehicle concepts. So we are addressing EMS1 topics, but also EMS2 topics. Part of the demonstration is also that we have a consistent and comprehensive evaluation scheme. So as Omar already explained, so we have in the work packages developed KPIs that we were then processing and then also applying in the demonstrations. And core of the demonstration is that we run these vehicles in real life conditions, so that we are using cargo and also operational processes that are implemented in order to test the status and the capabilities of electric and fuel cell propelled trucks in real logistics operations. So overall, we have what you can see here is the landscape of our pilot. So we have really pan-European corridors that we are addressing. So we have 12 demonstrations along these corridors, starting from, or let's say reaching from south of Spain even to mid of Sweden in a diagonal layout, and also from I would say Amsterdam, Rotterdam area up to Italy and Austria area. So really cross European corridors are addressed. So we are addressing these in 12 demonstrations that you will see later on in more detail, and also the use cases. As said, so we have included modular vehicle concepts, but we have also included intermodal. So the interplay of battery electric and fuel cell electric trucks with intermodal transport systems. We have included and also e-trailer concepts into this one. And this will be demonstrated over a period of 11 months. So the different vehicles that we have available will be handed over from one pilot site to the next one. However, we have the aim that each pilot sites demonstrate at least for a month, for 3 months up to 6 months, possibly even longer on these corridors, so that we achieve about 1 million kilometers of data driven within these commercial contacts, addressing then also some logistics topics like temperature controlled. We have general cargo that we are addressing. We have consumer goods with different kind of requirements, parcel distribution, heavy steel, and also automotive components. So we are addressing different industries, different requirements that should then all, let's say, lead to a comprehensive findings and conclusions about the status of BEV development in the EU.
Thank you, Marcel. Then I would like to switch to Volvo, Johanna Axelsson, who is coordinating the demonstration from Volvo side. Johanna, please be invited to guide us through the Volvo demonstrations and the use cases.
Thank you, Ben, and hello, everyone. This is an overview of the Volvo use cases that we are using and will drive together with our partners in the ZEFES project. We have from Volvo side, we have 5 different use cases, and one of them are fuel cell, the one to the left here, that is in Sweden. And then we have 4 different use cases with battery electrical vehicles that we would drive from in the middle of Europe and up in the north of Europe. And there's a different setups, different possibilities and challenge with these use cases. I would say that the main challenge with our use cases are the infrastructure when it comes to the MCS charger, also to get room for the vehicle combinations when we come to the charging stations. And also that weight and dimensions, crossing borders is also a challenge with our use cases. And ferry connections, if we're going to be able to charge on this ferry connection that we have. But I think we, in the end, will manage it with the use cases, and we will start up most of them now in the coming time here. But let us go into the details about the use cases and start up with the battery electrical vehicles first. The first use case we have is what we call Asser haulage. It's a trip with the trip length around 2,500 kilometers. With crossing borders, we have a ferry connections in Puttgarden and Rödby. And this is a use case that we will drive from factory to factory between Sweden and Gothenburg to Volvo in Ghent. During our route, we will use different public charging stations, and also we will work together with Hitachi and ABB along the route with their charging station. And then, of course, we have the factory charging stations at Ghent and Gothenburg that we will use. So it's quite a long route, and that is a challenge to really believe that we can manage this when we're starting it up. And we will drive automatic products from our factory to factory there, of course. Asser haulage is a Volvo logistic transport company that we will use. So we will have Volvo to Volvo, you can say, in these use cases, and we will drive a FH electric 6x2 tractor with a semi-trailer, and we will start up in the beginning of next year here. The second use case that we have, we call Procter & Gamble. This is a little bit shorter use case that we will drive. It's round trip 400 kilometers. It's a container transport between Procter & Gamble plant in Amiens and in the terminal in Zeebrugge. We will have one MCS charger, ABB, in Zeebrugge that we will use, and it is located at our partner ECS, European Container Service. In this use case, we will transport liquids, and that means for us that we will have a maximum weight for the vehicle combinations. And also in this use case, we will use an FH electric 6x2 tractor with semi-trailer. And it will start up already this year, in the end of this year. Here. Then we can go to the next slide. The third use case that we are part of is what we call Prima Frio use case. It has a trip length of approximately 2,000 kilometers, and this is part of the intermodal long-haul transport from Spain to Sweden. So here we are sharing this use case together with Scania, and Volvo will be focusing on the pipelines between Bettenberg in Luxembourg and Halmstad in Sweden. And during our route, we are focusing on MCS charger in Bettenberg and in Lipperland, and also the Hitachi's MCS charger in Hamburg. We have also ferry connections that we will drive here, and other public charger along the route that we will use. This transport is a temperature controlled transport of fresh fruit from Spain to Sweden, and it will go by train between Scania use case and our use case through France, and then we will pick it up and transport fresh fruit up to Sweden. Return back, then we will have general cargo. So we will always fill up our vehicle with maximum cargo in both directions then. And as the name say, we are doing this together with Prima Frio. And also in this use case, we will use an FH electric 6x2 tractor with a semi-trailer, and it will start up during next year. The last battery electric use case that we have is together with DPD. And it's also quite long use case that we will drive 1,300 kilometers. It's in the Rhine-Alpine corridor between Munich area and Eindhoven in the Netherlands. This is a little bit different use case for us compared to the other ones. We will only use CCS charger in this use case, and that we will do because we are driving together with the ZEFES and K-Sports e-trailer, and so we see that we will manage the distance in this vehicle combinations. From our side, we will have a 6x2 rigid to operate this vehicle combination with, and the picture down there is showing already testing this combination with the tractor then last year here in Gothenburg with really good results and good cooperation really with ZEFES with this exciting e-trailer that they will have during our use case. And that will start during next year. We have also one fuel cell that we will drive, and that will be driven in Sweden, in the middle of Sweden, in Hofors, down to close to Gothenburg in Sweden. We will use hydrogen stations along the route, supplying green hydrogen from Hydri. We have 700 bars on each hydrogen station. We will transport green steel, and we will drive this together with Ovacco. And this will be one of our fuel cell vehicles that we will drive it with. And we will also start up this during next year. So from Volvo's side, we are really excited to start up and to drive these use cases. And we are close to starting up the first one then late this year.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Johanna. Anje, are there questions which needs to be answered, or is everything covered?
We had a question from Dieterik asking if the duo trailers are also still part of the ZEFES project.
Yes, we will see that. Yes, we will see that later in the Spanish use case, and maybe Johanna, you might have a other comment on that as well.
Yes, I can say that from a Volvo perspective, we are looking into that, but there are some challenges with the permission. We will have an planning to drive that in France, if all permission is in line, and if so, that will then happen in late 2026.
Thank you very much, Johanna. So it refers then to the Amiens Zeebrugge use case, where we will try to have EMS2 vehicles as well in the project.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Then I would like to invite Christopher Thorén from Scania to guide us through the demonstrations and use cases with Scania vehicles and the partners which are involved here. Please go ahead, Christopher.
Yes, hello, and yeah, great to have this meeting where we can summarize the status where we are. My name is Christopher Thorén. I've been working at Scania for the last 23 years and started with electrification in 2011. So I've been through the complete trip development with electric vehicles at Scania. And I also would like to say that this project is very important for us because we see that the main challenge of electrification of vehicles in Europe is the infrastructure. How to build up the chargers, hydrogen stations and so on at the right place, at the right power level and the right amount. So the result from this project hopefully will influence the people in Brussels who can support that rollout and speed it up. So yeah, that as a background, we participate in 4 use cases across Europe. And this is just overview. We are up north and we are also down south in Spain. And let me go through the details on the coming slides. So we take the next slide, please. First one is going from the Scania factory in Södertälje up north in Sweden down to our factory in Zwolle in the Netherlands. This is a flow we do with our internal logistic company, Transport Lopez, which is doing the operation. And so they will take the regular flow and just replace a ICE truck, a diesel truck with a BEV truck. They transport mainly engines, gearboxes and stuff from our part factory in Södertälje to the assembly plant in the Netherlands. And this will be open operation from March to September next year. Next, please. So the vehicle will be a regular Scania BEV vehicle, 624 kilowatt-hour battery. But we will also use an e-trailer from Casporer with the ZEFES equipment on it, and where we have a 200 kilowatt-hour battery. And that is quite good in this use case, because if you look at the red arrows, we don't see any charging in Denmark, which gives us a very long route between the border Helsingborg in Sweden down to Hamburg. And there it could be useful to have the extra energy in the e-trailer to actually do the complete route without any problems, especially when it's headwind and cold and wet and so on. Regarding the charges, the Hamburg charges will most likely be an MCS charger supplied by the project. The other charges are public charges using CCS. Maybe they will have upgraded to MCS when we start this, who knows, but we plan for CCS. Next, please. Challenges we see here, it's charging. I would say Sweden and Netherlands, the charging is good. Now we have rolled out the mileage charges are opened in the Netherlands. So we have a very good network in Sweden now, but Denmark and Germany, we don't see that penetration of charges. So that's a challenge, as I have said, how to handle that. So we handle it in Denmark by having an e-trailer, and we handle it in Germany by having a product-specific charger. So, and of course, the lack of charging will affect drive times. You might have standing queue, you have to, and that will also affect the arrival time and the driver cost. So, charging and infrastructure, that's the key. So we can go to the next use case. This is transport flow used by a group of ZEFES to operate it and transport goods from SEAT from a supplier in Germany to a SEAT factory in Barcelona. And if you look at these two pictures, first we go west to Luxembourg, and then the goods go on train to the border to Spain, Lopez, and then again truck down to Barcelona. And we do this with one truck. This is a low liner truck. I will come back to that on the next slide. But anyway, we do the first 5 months in Germany, and then we move this truck to Spain and continue down in Spain. In Spain, we also do a dual trailer EM2 combination, and we hope to be able to drive into France or from France and down south also. But if not, we have to attach it just across the border. Next, please. So here we have a low liner. I mean, the trailer is very high, so it's a 3-meter trailer, so be able to handle that. We have an extra low vehicle. Same battery size as before, 624 kilowatt hours. Charging in Germany, we hoped to have it in the starting point, but wasn't possible. But there's a charger in Frankenthal, which is a good place. So we go, I don't remember exactly, but about 50 to 100 kilometers to Frankenthal, charge it, go to the Anje, which is in Luxembourg, where we leave the trailer to the train, and we charge there using an MCS charger from the project, and then we go back and also charge in Frankenthal and the return if needed. And that is a public one. And in Spain, the product will have a MCS charger in Vilamala, close to Girona, Spain, and then in Barcelona or Martorell will have a public CCS charger. And so it's an end-to-end charging. And again, Frankenthal is public, so hopefully there will not be a long line there, because they are relying to, they work just in time, so they have to arrive in time. So we'll see how that works. We haven't checked that in detail yet. And again, the EM2, will we be able or be allowed to drive in France with EM2? And if not, then as I said, we can go back to the previous, please. Yeah, so if we can't drive in France, we'll only drive in Spain, and then we have an extra truck that drive the last mile to France. So yeah, next please. This is the use case for our fuel cell truck. Gruber Logistics are operating in the northern part of Italy. I have a center in Verona where we will place our truck, and the plan is that it drives up to Austria and passes a fuel cell station in Brenner, and this will be done first half year of next year. Next, please. So this is our fuel cell truck that we'll use there. Yeah, I can't say so much more about that. It's our regular fuel cell truck, and the filling will be done in Bolzano, which means we can drive to Bolzano, fill it there. We can go up in Austria and deliver goods, and they go back to Bolzano, fill it again, go down to Verona, pick up new goods, and so on. So that's the idea. And yeah, the range, depending on how far you want to go in Austria, will the range be enough? And will we actually be able to drive in Austria? We have a length restriction in Austria that we are in, well, not me, but our colleagues in the ZEFES project are in discussion with the authorities, because this fuel cell, the fuel tanks take some extra space, and the complete vehicle will be longer than normal. Will comply with the European legislation, but Austria has not complied with that, not approved that. So we're in discussion, see how we're going to do in Austria. And then the final one is will be done in the second half of 26. The route is from Murcia down south of Spain and up to Lopez Again, the same train station as we have seen before. And this operation is done by Prima Frio, and they dry fruits and vegetables. Next, please. So here we will reuse the fuel cell truck from Italy, and we will come with a new BEV truck in this case. Yeah, and also here the Prima Frio will of course use an e-reefer. Of course, I mean they have goods that need to be cooled, and today they normally use a diesel-driven cooling equipment for the trailer, but we of course want to shift to electric or CO2 neutral cooling. So there will be an e-reefer in this case. Charging will be on Murcia, Valencia, Tarragona, and Girona. And all these, except Girona, will be public chargers. The hydrogen filling will be done in Murcia and Tarragona. Also, if you have longer range with a fuel cell truck, so you can go from Tarragona up to France and back on one tank, but we can't do that with the BEV truck. And if we go to the challenges here, yeah, the e-reefer, of course, that also need to be charged. I mean, that trailer has its own battery, and we need to charge that one. And it's important that the driver can charge both the truck and the e-reefer at the same place. So you will not lose time and do first one and then the other. And the other challenge is the hydrogen stations. Will they be in time? We presume that they will, and we think that they will, but still it's a challenge to get everything in place. And that summarizes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christer. Anje, any questions we need to answer, or is everything covered?
No questions so far in the chat on Christer's presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Christer. Then we continue with the Renault demonstrations and the use cases. I invite now Laurent Gonnet from Renault Trucks, who is guiding us through the demonstrations from site Renault. Laurent.
Thank you, Ben. Laurent Gonnet, project manager for the Renault Trucks for ZEFES. In this project, Renault Trucks is pursuing is a transition toward electrification. You already know that we have in production some BEV, and with this project we'll test the extended range of our trucks. It's a new generation of trucks, and for ZEFES we'll introduce and test 2 trucks in 3 different cases. As mentioned, we'll work with our partner Michelin between their 2 plants in France. We'll run also for DPD in Belgium and Netherlands, and we'll run for our own logistic flow between Lyon and toward one of our suppliers. The detail of the operation is in the next slide, Ben, if you want to turn it. We start with Renault and Michelin. In this case, trying to be as close as possible to true existing logistic flow. We will work between 2 plants, not really in a TNT corridor, but aside of that. It's national roads, sometimes highways, but very hilly road with some high elevation. For this case, you must know that in the south part of this trip, we have something like 1,000 meters elevation, which is a big challenge for typical BEV trucks. So the current flow is starting from north, going to south and back in the day to the starting point. There is no currently infrastructure, and the main challenge is to get this infrastructure in place. The only way to succeed in this is that it's a private investment done by the company, transport company itself, based in Saint-Étienne, so it's more in the south part of the trip. So we'll work with them to adjust the logistic flow. It's approximately 500 kilometers total, and we will manage it with the semi and the ISO trailers. Nothing special there, very close to what we already have today. Pretty heavy loads, close to 20 tons, charging raw materials, rubbers, metals, and something which is very heavy. And the challenge is to make it happen in the second part of 26 next year. In parallel to that, we have a second truck we will run in Netherlands and Belgium for DPD with a private transport company called Van Zetten. Here the trip is a T-shaped trip, most in the night. The truck is starting from the red point in Netherlands, going to Brussels, back to the starting point, and then move from east to west, back and forth to complete the trip. The trip is approximately 600 kilometers. Night trip to avoid traffic jam. Not so heavy truck, still tractor plus semi convey, nothing special there. We can and we hope to start in Q2 next year, and then there is no big issue. It's based on a private, it's a public charging station along the highways, and it's pretty flat road. So in terms of challenge, the time and the respect of the timing between warehouse is probably the more challenging aspect of this trip. And the first one, the first truck, which will be with Michelin, will also be for our own logistic flow. We will start even with this, starting from Lyon for our own logistic from our plant, which is in Lyon, and we'll go towards the Mont Blanc tunnel to take and swap semi and going back to Lyon in a day. Here also, it's approximately 550 kilometers in a day. It's a daily trip, several rotations in a day, so we have to choose one. For sure, as you know, it's not TNT roads, but it's pretty challenging roads, more than hilly with a big ramp close to the tunnel, which is probably one of the challenge. And currently no public infrastructure along the way. So we will start full of charge in Lyon on our own charging station. Our transport company is also based close to Lyon and have some warehouses along this highway. So we'll have to organize, if needed, some charging. But so far, the trip is based on the charging, which is in Lyon, trying to make the 500 to 600 kilometers in a day based on one charging. So very challenging mission here also, close to what we used to do with our trucks in diesel, trying to assess what it means to run with a BEV and make it happen in a true condition. This trip and mission is planned here also in Q2 next year. We will start with them, and the trucks will be brand new trucks which are currently under assembly to be ready as soon as we can. The more challenging is to get, not only for this, because we already have some charging station for this, but in general the synchronization between trucks availability and charging station is probably one of the most challenging area we have on this project. Good opportunity for Renault Trucks to test these brand new trucks in a long haul condition.
Thank you very much, Laurent. Maybe we should add that in the Renault use cases, the vehicles are fitted with Michelin e-tires, a special compound, so that we can see and evaluate the impact of a new type of tire, which is specifically designed for e-trucks. Maybe you can comment on that as well very shortly.
Yeah, that's the trip. Yeah, the idea is with Michelin for sure is to test wear and make a lot of models around the usage of these new tires and develop intro case. So we'll have to test and measure wear on a regular basis and I've seen that Mr. Duclos is part of the chat, so we he can comment if you want, but yes, that's part of the 3 missions.
Okay, thank you very much, Laurent. Anje, questions so far or any comments from the audience? Maybe Celine can add a comment to the tires because that's also part of the project and I don't want to forget that. Celine, maybe you can comment a little bit on that.
Yes, just thank you, Ben. An additional comment. As Laurent said, we have specific tires and they're made for drive axles. For the 3 use case with Renault trucks and also for 1 use case with Scania, as Christa presented previously.
Thank you, Celine. Then we can continue with ABB and Hitachi. Unfortunately, Miguel from ABB is not able to join us, but Fernando Lopez from Hitachi Energy will take over for both companies and present the latest status on the chargers. So Fernando, can I invite you to follow up?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Ben. Yes, I will try to give a flavor from or an overview from both Hitachi and ABB of what we are designing and delivering and will be installed on site and which are the main challenges we experienced. So first from the Hitachi solution, so we have like 3 main blocks, and this is something you will also see similarly to the ABB. There is a first part which is the, let's say, the power to the power to the system, AC power. Then we have the main block, which is the AC-DC conversion or converter container, and then we have the charging interface, which are the 2 MCS chargers with delivering a current to 1000 amp for this project, and with a certain voltage range to adapt to the batteries of the vehicles, of the trucks. We are going, as said before, with the MCS charge, which you can see there on the right-hand side, some just overview of the different charging like plugs. In this case, we are talking about for the ZEFES 1000 amp, which we are on the MCS, let's say, MCS part. Yeah, maybe on the next slide, please. This is an overview of the power flow. So we are connecting from AC power. The initial plan and our work in the last, I would say, 18 months plus has been to get a grid connection on medium voltage, and then installing, delivering a transformer to step down to the required input voltage for the system. However, this has been very extremely complicated to manage in Hamburg for several reasons. I will not go into the bigger details, but basically, whenever the grid capacity could be available, the location was far away from the highway and didn't sustain the use case. So at the end of the day, it's we have been struggling and we are struggling. We have a meeting this afternoon to explore some other options. But we've been struggling to have a grid connection close to the highway, to the A1 highway in Hamburg. Some options are use of generator. There are diverse type of generators. What we are analyzing at the moment, there is a nice option for future, but I don't think will work for the use case of ZEFES because of the time frame with hydrogen. Other like more classical generators. Then we have the AC-DC conversion in the center part with a rectifier, with a 12 pulse rectifier, and then a bus bar distributing in continuous current, and the different DC-DC conversion modules with based on the silicon carbide technology with higher efficiency. This is the like bigger innovation part of the project. And then from there we have the charging interface with the 2 MCS dispensers, which will connect to the vehicles. Good. Maybe next slide. This is another a view from the ABB solution, the portable solution. Like similar in the principle, there is an AC grid connection, well, which has to be transformed, coming either from the grid, from transformers, or from generator. In the case of ABB, in the Bettenburg and Lipperland, they managed to get connection through to the grid with a transformer, and then there is individual AC DC distribution cabinets of 400 kilowatt and the dispenser. Those are installed on a frame. And then next slide, yeah, this is more of the technical characteristics. I think I have mentioned most of it. So we have the 3 400 kilowatt power cabinets, the AC distribution with some protection, and then everything is installed on this frame to be able to easily transport from one side to another. And the challenge is, yeah, same. I mean, from both Hitachi, ABB, the biggest, I would say, roadblocks so far have been to get approval from grid operators, or even to get the commitment for connection to the grid with 1 megawatt. And backup solutions with battery storage diesel generators in the case of ABB was also quite complicated because of the constraints from the site, plus some struggles on the procurement of the transformers. So basically, from this power flow change, what I showed before, this is the first block where we have both struggled the most so far, which leads with a capacity of the grid close to the use cases, to the highways. Otherwise, design production is on track, and we are very well looking forward to see the equipment on site and charging.
Thank you, Fernando. There is one question about the MCS charger. What is the AC voltage? Maybe you can answer that question directly, because then Antoine has his answer.
Okay, so yeah, I can respond on the Hitachi part. For the ABB, I believe it's similar. Basically, what we do, due to the high power, we are talking about 1 megawatt. So the easiest is to connect on medium voltage, and then we have a transformer to step down to, let's say, around 500 volt. Then we do the conversion from AC to DC, and we have a DC output voltage of 750, or it's adaptable. The DC output voltage for the truck, for the batteries, it can be adapted. But as input power, I would say we can have between 400 to 550 kind of.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
There's another question.
Then there is a question from Simon. Sorry, Anje, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that Simon Edwards from Ricardo is asking if you could maybe elaborate a little bit on the generators on the site, and if why it would be difficult to use hydrogen for that within the ZEFES project.
Okay, so here I'm also talking about Hitachi. There is like a product which is also a development, and there is some demonstrator actually in Sweden with a charging Volvo machinery. Those are containers which just receive the hydrogen and convert with an output of 400 kilowatt AC. So we have a variable output voltage. We can have the 500, and also these hydrogen, like let's say generators, can be put in parallel. So we could put 2 in parallel for 400 kilowatt to have 800 kilowatt, and so on. But the main thing, this is another development which is going on, but just for time constraints, because we have a very important milestone to achieve. It is adding much complexity, and we were not able to get this kind of generator on time, unfortunately, for the start of the line in ZEFES.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. I can only comment to this part that our biggest challenge in the ZEFES project is really can we get permits for grid connection? Is the grid connection delivering enough power? And is it in the area where we need the charging locations, as Fernando already said? And that is one of the outcomes of the project, that we can say the connections to the grid are not ideally where we need them along highways. So, and the result is that we are looking into generators to create electricity that we can at least demonstrate the MCS chargers. Thank you very much so far, Fernando.
Welcome. I've put in the chat, so for those who are interested, this information about the hydrogen generator.
Excellent. Thank you, Fernando. I think, Anje, all questions so far are covered. So then I would like to continue with the Ford demonstrations. How can I get rid of this bar here below? That is okay. Leave it as is. So I will present the Ford demonstrator and the use cases. From side Ford trucks, there will be supplied a fuel cell electric vehicle, the F-BEVs. And the technical progress of the vehicle is that the mechanical development and the vehicle build is done. The fuel cell is also for the critical functions developed, and the systems are now in commissioning. Ongoing is the calibration for the finalization, the functional and the durability test, and we are working very hard on the homologation and the certifications, because here we see that every fuel cell vehicle out of the project has a certain overlength. And for those countries who are not approving the revised weight and dimension directive, in those countries we might have difficulties to have this kind of trucks in operation with a normal standard trailer, because you can imagine that the hydrogen tanks are behind the cab, so you need some extra length to let the vehicle have enough hydrogen on board. And then together with a standard trailer of 13.6, we are exceeding the allowed lengths. We have 3 use cases in mind with the Ford vehicle, and the intention is to start in March 26. And the first demonstration is that the company Gebrüder Weiss will operate the vehicle between their location in Graz up to Vienna, and we have the opportunity that we might use the corridor from Vienna into Bratislava. We have only one hydrogen station, which is at the Vienna Energy location in Vienna. It is a 700 bar location, so it is fit for heavy-duty trucks. So with this one hydrogen station, we need to do the full corridor from Graz to Vienna, Vienna to Bratislava, back, and then again back to Graz. It is a combination of night tour and day operation. So this vehicle will really run around the clock in those 3 months. And we do that by simple driver swapping so that the vehicle can continue his jobs during the day. The second use case is changed from Gattatico close to Milan in Italy, where we have a Procter & Gamble factory plant. And the truck will cross the Brenner Pass, as the Scania also will do, which Thorén already presented. And then passing Austria, Germany, we go then to Kraaijenhagen in Germany, where the other Procter & Gamble factory is. It is a long route. It's 700 kilometers, and we are transporting containers with half products between 2 factories. Very hilly, and into Germany. It's also a long distance. It's also a busy motorway. So here is really the challenge. Are we able to do this as a daily trip? We have the option of having 2 hydrogen stations. One is the Bolzano one at the Brenner, and the other one is in Gingen an der Brenz. That one is already fit for 700 bar, and the Bolzano one is in discussion, and we hope that that will be operated on time, and we are waiting for the confirmation from site, the people at this location. Then finally, the vehicle will run in Turkey between the Ford plant close to at the other side of Istanbul, and it will drive assembly parts for the vehicle plant to the docks in the Istanbul harbor. It's also a daily route of about 500 kilometers. And here, of course, we have to deal with climate conditions and the intense use of the route. And also here you have the challenge, can we really fulfill this with only 1 hydrogen station? So also 3 very challenging use cases with the fuel cell truck. So far, the fuel cell vehicles from Ford. Anje, is there any question? Otherwise, I continue.
There's no questions in the chat.
Okay. Then we have the last demonstration, which is charging on rail. Johanna and Christer already mentioned that we are transporting trailers by train between Le Boulou, the south of France, and the CFL intermodal terminal in Bittenbourg, Luxembourg. We have a very good collaboration and cooperation with CFL Multimodal and UEC. And together with the rail people, we are really diving in this topic, because either it's the trailer or in the future also the complete truck, which can go on a rail wagon. It is, of course, then the goal to have the batteries fully loaded when the vehicle arrives at the destination, so that the truck can be picked up, can pick up the trailer, and then we have both the truck and the trailer are having a fully loaded battery. Intention is that we somewhere in Q3 this year, we will do a physical test of 3 trailer types. It's first of all the e-reefer, so that's a Smith Cargobull semi-trailer with a electrified cooling unit. We will have a liquid nitrogen cooling unit trailer, which is the blue picture, and we will have the e-trailer from Kesborough ZF. We will do firstly a physical test to ensure that all these 3 trailers will fit in the rail wagon and that the connection with the SWS power box is possible. And then when we are starting the use cases, the demonstrations, April, September into November next year, then it is the normal operation that in the chain from the south of Spain to the mid of Sweden, the trailers will be simply going on the rail, will be connected to the SWS box, and that's a simple wheel generator creating electricity. A battery pack is the blue box, and that will can feed 2 trailers. And the dimensions of such rail wagons are mentioned in this overview. So by that, we really save time in charging the trailers. And in the future, you can, of course, also extend it with if you have a roll-on, roll-off of the complete vehicles. So far, the demonstrations and the use cases. We are now coming to the Q&A of our session. We are very nicely in time. First of all, I would like to give the word to Anje, and then we can start the Q&A.
Yes, thank you so much, Ben. Yes, so as most of you know, from the ZEFES project, we have started at the beginning of the project with organizing stakeholder symposia. This is an opportunity for us to connect with you, with the external stakeholders, to give an update on the project, to showcase where are we, what are the recent developments, but also to discuss with you the challenges that we are facing in the project and to see your perspectives on that as well. We've so far had 2 stakeholder symposia. The first one was organized by IDIADA in Spain, and the second one last year, October, was hosted by Volvo in Gothenburg. And we have the opportunity now to have the 3rd stakeholder symposium organized by CFL Multimodal in Luxembourg. We have extended a little bit the date of this symposium because normally we organize it in October. However, due to the developments within the project, we have decided to host the meeting in February because at that time, on the 25th of February, we will be able to showcase several things to you in live demonstrations. So we will have vehicles on site, we will have an HRS station, we will have a megawatt charging system, and we will have the train connection there as well. So we will be able to showcase to you the different parts of the projects that are all coming together. The date will be the 25th of February. Prior to the 25th, so on the 24th, we will also have a nice dinner, a networking dinner, where you are able to connect with partners from the ZEFES project, but also with the other external participants. And you can already now pre-register by using the QR code in the middle of the presentation. It will guide you to a Microsoft Forms where you can leave your details. So we are able to contact you in due time for you to make the registration complete. So it will be a very nice opportunity for all of us to get together and discuss the progress, and for you also to see the latest developments within the project with actual hardware demonstrations. And that's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Anje. Yeah, it's now open for questions if there are so far. If you have a question and you would like to take the word and open your camera so that we can see and do yourself a short introduction, your name and the company. So yeah, you're really invited now to use this opportunity to talk to the different people in this project who are really in charge of what you have been seeing.
Yes, Eric Lambert, please.
Yeah, sorry. I want to open the camera first, if it's okay. Do you see me?
No, we don't see you yet.
Why? Camera, all right.
Otherwise, you can just go ahead with your question.
Yeah, sorry, I cannot activate the camera. So Eric Lambert, I'm a representative for the UIC, so for the railway sector. And I have a question about the presentation made by the representative of Scania, because he spoke about using a low loader from Germany to Spain. And Ben, you didn't mention this unit during the presentation, so that I'm a little bit surprised. Or could you explain what is the low loader? Do we have the information about this? Because it's not the same what Ben presented and what the representative of Scania presented.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you for the question. I can respond. This is a trailer that Lopez are using today, and so that trailer it's not electric trailer. It's no electric equipment on it. It's just extra high inside, so they can load more goods. And that trailer will be just placed on the train or wagon and move that train down to Le Boulot. So
Eric, these trailers are already used by you very frequently because it's a normal standard high cube trailer.
Okay. Thank you.
So that's not an issue. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next, Anje?
Then we have a question from Stanislav. Please. Introduce
Yes.
yourself.
Yes. Hello. My name is Stanislav Kruger. I'm from Infineon Technologies. Thank you, first of all, for the update in the project. I would have a question regarding the OEM use cases. So, are the propulsion units and batteries all based on existing designs which are already in commercial use today, or are there also any new innovations planned to be implemented for the different use cases?
Well, I can start to answer from Scania. The drivetrain is a regular drivetrain. Of course, the fuel cell is a new development. But the electric, the BEV vehicles are regular drivetrains.
Okay.
And maybe Johanna from Volvo.
Yes, hello. So from Volvo side, we are driving with one use case with the current BEV that we have already in production. That is the vehicle that we are driving together with ZEFES and Caseborough, the e-trailer. The other battery electric vehicles, they are our new innovation, the new development vehicles that we are working with within Volvo, and that also been presented and launched as long-haul transport vehicles. Thank you.
Thank you.
Laurent?
Yes, the two trucks for Renault trucks are brand new trucks with brand new powertrain systems and batteries. So it's brand new trucks, not undersold yet.
Thank you very much, Laurent. Anje, the next question. Is that okay for you, Stanislav?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you for your question. Anyone else? At the moment, we don't have any hands raised. Please feel free. Yes, Thomas, ask, please.
Yes, I try. Thomas from Sweden, and I have a question. There was a comment about e-trailers, but it's more complicated to get permissions for that compared to dual trailers, EMS vehicles. Do you think it also in the project that it is like that? Is it a problem for you to get permissions for the permits for e-trailers?
Maybe I should comment. Either somebody from IDIADA is in the call, then IDIADA might answer the question. Otherwise, I will do it. Anje, can you check if somebody from IDIADA is there?
Yeah, that should be Pablo. I don't know if Pablo is here.
I'm here.
Yes. Pablo, please.
Okay,
Albert,
hello.
Yes.
Hello, Albert.
Hello, good morning from Albert from IDIADA. Yes, we are working in mainly the trailers we are working in ZEFES. Mainly we are not working in route permits, we are working in approvals of them. As I said, here the problem with the trailers is not the permits, is that the approvals from them, because there are some regulations which are not into force, and they are under discussions on the working groups. And until we don't have these regulations into force and approved by the different working groups, we cannot have any final approval for a European type approval for any of vehicles for the manufacturers. Even we are working with some authorities to know, because the road permits also need to allow the use of different cargo loads during the development of the demonstrations. And also this is not only for a road permits, but also it's better to get some kind of approval or whatever. So we are working with the authorities to get on that. But it's more difficult for that, even that EMS in this case it's easier to allow, because we know that different countries allow that. But this is a different situation. So.
But Albert, I understand that we will have a approval that we may use the e-trailer and that we can run our demonstrations in the different countries.
Yes, this is the aim that we are working to, and this is the discussion that we are working with the authority in this case. So this is
Okay,
to get
thank
an
you.
approval with a regular plate, which allows to have a demonstration with using cargo load during the demonstrations of the ZEFES. So
Thank you, and good that you managed to have it.
thank you so much.
Okay, then there is a next question.
Yeah, again from Erik.
Yes, it's not a question. I want only to give you some information about what's occurred for the time being in Luxembourg about the duo trailer and so on. So in Luxembourg, we have for the time being in our transport ministry a working group working on the possibility to permit different constellations or different composition, truck composition. But in this working group, it is not foreseen to speak about duo trailer. So it's surprising, but for the time being, all the different truck composition, they are analyzed within this working group, doesn't speak about the duo trailer. And for us, it's not a good idea, so that for information, we will have this afternoon internal meeting within the CFL, so the railway company, to prepare documentation for our ministry, and once again also explaining the priority and our needs for analyzing also duo trailer to come to the terminal in the railroad terminal in Bettembourg-Dudelange. Because it was also explained here from within the use case discussion that perhaps it could be that the use case from and to Luxembourg will be done with duo trailer. But for this, we need also permits in Luxembourg, not only in Germany, in France, but also in Luxembourg. So there is, as I said, discussion in our transport ministry, but for the time being, dual trailer is not in discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Erik. Then we should invite your authorities to join us at the symposium, because then we can have an offline discussion with them.
They will be there, surely. They will be there.
Okay. Next question is by Matteo.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thank you. It's Matteo Zimonti from Hydrogen Europe. I have a question that is mostly out of personal curiosity. Has any of the use cases encountered any issue related to safety requirements when it comes to accessing confined spaces? There could be tunnels or e-trailers entering railway tunnels, and actual permissions to use those tunnels with hydrogen and electric trucks. Out of my own experience, and especially based on Italy, I know that there's either you can only get a special permission, or there's no rule regulating zero-emission trucks entering tunnels. So I would like to understand whether this is part of the ZEFES project, and how do you tackle this issue? Thank you.
Maybe I can answer that question. We had originally planned to drive from Milano to Rome, but this is not possible for two reasons. The first one is we cannot pass the tunnels because it's a fuel cell vehicle with hydrogen. And the second one is there are no hydrogen stations in the south of Italy. So, and that's why we have now decided we drive from Gattatico, Italy to Kraaijenhagen, Germany, so that we ensure the availability of hydrogen stations, and we don't have the issue anymore about passing tunnels and the security which is taken into doubt by authorities. So this is still a ongoing discussion, I believe, and we have a time constraint in our project, so we have to make sure that we can run our demonstrations latest next year, And by that, it was for us too critical to keep on discussing with authorities. And we then decided to change this demonstration.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have Christer.
Yes, just a clarification regarding the dual trailer. In our use case, we will drive that from Le Boulot in France and down to Barcelona. However, we will not use the dual trailer from Heilbronn in Germany to Luxembourg. There will be a single trailer.
Yep.
Thank
Exactly. Thank you, Christer, for this additional information. Anje, more questions?
I don't see any hands raised.
Okay.
Please feel free to ask questions while we are still here. Can also be on a different topic that maybe was not presented today, but you are wondering about.
Okay, it seems to be silent. It seems to be crystal clear all. I understood, Anje, you are going to make this presentation available through our website. And I understand also you are going to send all the members of this meeting a link to the presentation then?
Yes.
Yeah, then I would like to thank
Maybe
the presentation.
Ben, can you go back one slide so then people can still use the QR code to pre-register?
Okay, thank you.
In the meanwhile, while you do the closure.
Yes, okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank all the presenters. So Omar, Marcel, Johanna, Christer, Laurent, Fernando, and you, Anje. I hope for the audience it was a very useful and fruitful overview we have given of the demonstrations, which will start now, say Q3, Q4 2025, and we will end them somewhere Q3, Q4 next year. I hope to see you all back in February latest in Luxembourg. I know that Eric knows the best restaurants in Luxembourg, so I think the food and the wine will be excellent. And yeah, I really hope to see you there back. In the meantime, stay in touch with us. And yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to come back to Anje and to myself or one of the presentators. Use this opportunity, stay in touch and stay healthy. Enjoy summertime and we see you back very soon. And by that, I would like to close the meetings. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.